is going on, guys? It is your boy Seso here, bringing you guys yet another Cinema4D tutorial. I'm actually gonna bring you guys the video that you probably been harassing me about the most for about 6 months now. How to make an intro something that looks like yours. It's so clean, it's so simple, blah 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 blah. Just so you guys know, my intro is not done in Cinema4D. It was actually done in Element 3D in After Effects. Just so you guys know, it's not gonna be the same exact thing. So material difference will be so materials will look a little bit differently, as well as lighting and stuff like that. But I will give you all this. I'll give you the settings that I have in my Lightroom here. I will give you these materials I'm going to be using in this video as well. And just overall, I just want to show you guys how to make your own very simple, basic intro with, I'm going to have other things that I have on my channel already that had like intro designing stuff, like how to track things like splines and stuff, which is also very, very helpful. I will not be doing that in this video. It's going to be very bare bones. It's very something simple as you can do that. You can do it yourself as well. So yeah, let's get going right now, guys. Hopefully you guys like the video, so please give it 200 likes. I know you guys really wanted this, so please show me you guys really wanted it. We've been lacking kind of. We've been only hitting 180 every kind of video for our likes. I don't know, you guys missing these uploads from uploading so much? I don't know. Just let me know. Please just leave a like, guys. It means a lot to me. So let's get going right now. We're gonna be using my intro, of course, as the example. We're gonna go ahead and click on this. And my intro is already in Extrude NURBS. It's in a path here. This is just basically my Seso HQ logo here. I just put it in the Extrude NURBS tab. You can just do this by, of course, I showed you guys last videos how I my last 30 videos, how you take a simple Photoshop PNG maybe of your logo, then you pen tool it out, and you go to File, Export Path to Illustrator, and then that will allow you to put that Illustrator AI file inside Cinema4D. And since it's just a path, it will just show as a simple little path spline here, and you can just put it inside an Extrude NURBS just like so, and it'll make it 3D for you guys and ready to go. So, alright, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and just click on this Extrude NURBS really quickly. We're just gonna go ahead and just put this at about 50. Alright, cool. So, by the way, if you guys have this very odd orientation and it moves like this, you can just basically just move by clicking on this little orientation, little axis thing here, and you can just drag this right down, just so it's nice in the middle. I just always like doing that. Alright, cool. So, to get the very nice, simple, I don't know, I'm probably put the intro that we just did in this video, right about now or something like that, and at least show you guys what we did. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and just do the little simple just a good foundation for our text and or our logo if you guys wish to. So pretty much, I'm gonna go ahead and actually put a camera in right now. We're gonna put a camera in. This is your main thing. So I'm gonna put the camera right in the bottom. You can have multiple cameras if you guys wish to. Don't forget about that. Hold on, my dog is crazy. Oh my god. Alright, anyways, you can have multiple cameras if you guys wish to. What you can do is basically I'm just gonna zoom out really quickly, just a little bit. Just click on your NURBS tab here. We're going to zoom out, and basically I just want to make sure that we have a very nice setting for us when we you want to do this for basically around the start. So pretty much I know that at the end of this intro I want my focus to be on the logo right in the middle. So pretty much I'm going to click on my camera here. I'm going to click this little keyframe thing right on the bottom here, and this will allow me just to basically drag this. I'll just drag it to 85 now that I know that it's there. So pretty much anything I do with the camera now, we're going to be doing a lot with it, is going to be stuck right here at the end. No matter what, it's going to look like this, and it's going to stop right there. So right here we're good enough to go. By the way, I'm also going to be doing this intro in a very only in 3 seconds, because I just want to show you guys how I do something. Please do not copy my frames per second. I would say about 180 frames, about 6 seconds if you're doing at 30 frames per second. Please understand that. Make sure you know that every 30 frames is going to be 1 second. So I'm in here, I'm only at 3 second orientation right now, and if you put it to 180, I have it at 180 but I don't have it extended to 180. You can just basically make sure that you know that you just put this in your head, I want my logo to fly in for 3 seconds, so that'll be 90 frames that you would need from one point to another point. So intro design is not incredibly hard. It's just all about kind of numbers and your vision or whatever, and just how familiar you are with the program. So right here we're good to go. Let's just see now what we're going to do. Right, we're just going to go ahead and click on this. We're going to zoom this in. Alrighty, so I'm going to just click on this. We're going to put some simple little fillet caps on. We're going to put it on 1, right? Everything on 1. And we're going to make 3 duplicates, or two duplicates. We have 3 of these kind of things here. Control V, V. This will be number 1, number 2, and number 3. Alright, cool. So we're going to go to number 2 right now, and we're just going to go ahead and just not see number 3. We're going to bring this just a little bit back, and we're going to click on this number 2. We're going to go to fill a cap. We're just going to give you radiuses right here, these 2 radiuses. We're going to change about 1.2. And we'll change this one to 1.2. And then pretty much you're just going to get something very simple like this. I can see it just a little bit, just like a little, like, we're going to actually zoom this in a little bit more. Or make this a little bit less, like, I'll say that about right there. Give us kind of like layers. This is going to give us kind of like these cool little layers here. We can just, you know, you can see this nice little layer there. That's cool. That's all I really want. Just a little bit defined, the logo or the text or whatever you're doing. And for number 3, we'll click on this one. And we'll put it on the radius about maybe like, what, 2.1 maybe? We'll just see how that looks really quickly. And we're just going to zoom this one out like so. And then we have these cool little 3 layers here. So the middle layer is going to be where I'm going to put my color, and like the base and the outside layer is going to be like a nice little silver and a black like I have here, right? So pretty much you can see that if I just render this out really quickly so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a simple little render. You can see that it has like basically little layers here. It looks pretty cool. So with that now, I can also put my my simple little materials on right now. So I didn't do anything really special really. I just duplicated my logo or text 3 times on extreme nerves. By the way, if you want to do a text, you just go to MoGraph, mode text just like so, and it'll put you already in like a extreme nerves kind of thing. So you can do the same exact thing in your caps and stuff. So let that be known. So yeah, pretty much I just duplicated twice. I changed my filler cap for number 1 is going to be all 1s, and number 2 is going to be 1, 1.2, 1, 1.2, and then for number 3 it's going to be 1, 2.1, 1, 2.1, and that'll give you these cool little step kind of things that I have here. And so now I'm going to put for my number 1 for the base. It's just going to be a nice little silver. And when I put any materials on, I will put these materials for you guys in the Lightroom as well as like a LIB file. That way you can just do it. You use the materials if you want to use them in a different Lightroom if you wish to. So pretty much, I'm going to click on this layer here. Projection, cubic, make sure I click seamless as well. And I'm going to do that for all the other ones as well. So number 2, I'm going to have a color in it. Cubic, seamless. And number 3 for the outside is going to be a simple cubic and seamless. Cool. So I'm going to zoom this in really quickly, see what I got here. Looks very stylish. I like it. It looks very nice and simple and clean. It's nothing like, you know, crazy or whatever, right? So pretty much now we kind of have what we need to actually start, you know, giving this like little cool of a feel of a simple motion design. So I'm gonna render this out really quickly just to see what it looks like. Let's see. That looks pretty good, to be honest. I like the little steps here. You can see a little pink in the inside. I can make this step a little bit bigger if you guys wish to. This is all try and error, very base model for your text or whatever. I do like how this looks. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. Okay. Alright. I can see. Yeah, I do like that. I like the material a lot, actually, with the simple lighting effects with the Lightroom that I have here. It works. I do like how that looks. I'm not going to lie. So, pretty much, what I can do now is, this is all, I hope you guys know this is all up to you. What you can do, I just want to show you guys something. Please go check out my description down below, though. I will have like a different video where I used, you know, a spline to track my motions with the camera, which is like a full-on video I had to do with that. I don't want to put it in this video because it'd just be too gosh darn long, and I don't really like long videos. And who does, to be honest? I don't think any of you guys watch long videos. But pretty much, I just want to see. I'm just gonna basically move my camera around, see what I kind of want to have. By the way, different angles do equal different lighting effects. So, oops. Every once in a while, just go to render region, right? Click and drag over your thing. Your materials will look a little bit differently depending on the Lightroom that you have. Mine is a very like 360 lights around the logo or whatever. It will look a little bit different just because, right? I'm just gonna see. It doesn't look too bad or whatever, but you can see it looks very like, I don't know, like kind of flat. I'm not sure, like I'm not completely sure how I would fix that and something like that. But hopefully you guys understand that for my render settings in this thing, I do have ambient occlusion, global illumination, as well as a sharpen filter. And if you guys want to know all the other settings, if you guys are using a different Lightroom, I'm on a 300 resolution. Frame rate's 25. It'll be like 30 frames per second basically. You can put it for like 29.95 or 94, I believe, right? 29.94. I'll put it to 30 frames per second just so you know you have it. Every 30 frames will be a second, and that way you can put it on save. Make sure you. This is actually very important. Make sure you're on QuickTime Movie. That way you actually select alpha channel and your background will be like basically transparent, which will allow you to put a base color on the back of your, you know, when you go into post, which is mean like when you go into edit the intro, it will be a nice transparent background. So either After Effects or Cinema4D, or not, excuse me, Sony Vegas, whatever you use kind of edit. I'm going to be using After Effects. It will have a transparent background. That's completely important, and only does it when you use QuickTime Movie. If you do AVI Movie, it will not work. Like that's basically the only thing I have here that I can do it with besides QuickTime Movie. It will not allow the alpha channel to be seen as a transparent background if you're on AVI Movie. So please just download QuickTime, like a 5-second kind of thing, and then you get this very nice simple thing where you can just QuickTime Movie, you put it on alpha channel, it'll be transparent. You can change your options to 30 frames, best, right? And then you can save it wherever you want to save it. So yeah, that's all I have there. So that's what help you with you know, you can keep on like trying different renders with changing your ambient occlusion and global illumination. Mine is on basically 5, 100, 100, 1.3. It just all depends on what your material is, what your Lightroom is. That works for me right now. I'm not too, you know, flustered about changing that. But, you know, just so you guys know, that is things that goes on with like logo designing. I mean, excuse me, with intro designing and all that crazy stuff. There's a lot more, but I'm trying to like, you know, blow your heads. If you guys really do show me the support on this video, I'll be sure as hell to give you guys more motion design tutorials because I want to learn more about it as well. And the only way for me to learn about it is to make sure someone else wants to learn as well. I don't know. That's how I kind of roll, I guess. But anyway, right? Let's give you the whole lowdown on that. So pretty much, let's get going. I'll show you guys how to do this little camera motion here. So what I can do, I want to see where I want to start my camera motion, right? I want to see where I want to like have this logo do like whatever. On mine's kind of like on a tilt. I feel like the logo's on a tilt, right? So if I just group all this together really quickly, right? Shift click on all this, Alt G to group together. I feel like my logo in my intro, right, is on a little tilt here, something like that, and it's shown where you do something like this, right? It's kind of zoomed in a lot, and I guess go like around, and just a little water motion thing. That's kind of how my intro goes, right? So pretty much, let's say if I want to do that, right, I want to have it here. Actually, before I do that as well, I want to make sure that my logos, right here, all these little things. Why I say logo so weird? My logos, but my logos right here. We want to click on those and make sure about 85 frames, just like the same thing with the camera, right? That they are stuck here. They want to be here. They don't want to be anywhere else besides that. They want to be right there, okay? We want to have it right there, so that way we know at the end of it, our logo will be straight still, along with our camera being straight, so it's all good, right? So now we have that. We can go back to just moving this a little bit. Actually, we'll just move all of them, just like that. Don't do it on a group, just because, I don't know, I don't trust that. Boom, right? So, actually, number 1, we're going to go to frame 0, right? We're going to go ahead and move this, and we'll say like right about that. We'll keyframe that. That way when I zoom in as well, I can just go ahead and see where I want to start this. We'll say right about there. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. Alright, so right about there. So I'm going to go to camera as well, and I'm going to keyframe this on 1 as well. So now what I have here is a very simple, you know, boom, whatever. Like a very simple thing right there. Actually, my camera's not actually on. So here we go. It just does something like that, right? Very, very simple stuff here. Nothing crazy special. But my frame for number 1 should be when I'm zoomed in here. So let me make sure that I'm zoomed in with the camera, right? I'm selected on the camera. I want to make sure this is keyframed. That way it does a very simple motion where it just basically goes from in to out, in to out. So if keyframing is very, very simple. It's not too hard to actually follow this right here. So what I did was I already put in the beginning the camera wants to be stuck at the end as well as with the logo being stuck right there. So what I did was just keyframe both at the start. So we only have 2 keyframes right now. One with our logo being at a tilt to being straight, as well as our camera being zoomed in to being zoomed out. So it's not that crazy to actually follow along as well. So pretty much now what I want to do is I'm going to click on this just because when you do try to move something, let's say if I want to go to like at maybe about 2 seconds or whatever. At 2 seconds, I want my camera to be like looking at the logo like this, right? By the way, this is not how I would do it. Like when I say that, I don't mean like the frames here. Like when I told you before, I'm at a 3-second intro, just so the intro when I rendered out, just to show you guys what I did, is not crazy long. Just please, or a long time to render it out, because I'm doing this kind of like, you know, not at the right time for me to actually intro or render out like an 8-hour intro or whatever, because the materials in the Lightroom and stuff, so it will take a long time. Anyway, I'm doing this in a 3-second video, so please understand that if you're in a 180 frames, you probably want this to last maybe about like 4 seconds. So at 4 seconds, that'll be about 90 frames. No, I mean 120 frames, and that's way. This is where your, you know, where your keyframe would be. So let's say my 60 is your 90, right, or 120, and I want to basically keyframe this to be like at about here, right? Let's say about there. So the camera is now doing this very simple motion. Oops, I didn't frame this right. The camera, all right, cool. The camera's there, right? So basically we see this here. It goes like this little cool little zoom in. It goes right here and it comes out. That's a very dramatic turn, to be honest, as well. So what if I said we want this to be a little bit zoomed out, maybe? And then we keyframe it, right? So let's say we have this here. We have this very cool little motion here. You can see my logo, and it kind of goes like a little transition kind of thing. See the bottom of it, and then it like comes over and like around and it stops there. That looks pretty cool, but it's very, very quick and dramatic, of course, because I'm at this very tight keyframe here, just to have it, you know, just so I can make sure I can show you guys how I'm doing it. So the only difference here that I'm doing, and the only difference you're going to have, is the timing. So please understand that. Everything else is easy to follow. You can just, you know, do whatever you want to do, the simple keyframing stuff. But like just like that, I think I like that, right? For my intro, you would probably have to have like 2 renders, or you change your camera view, but that's kind of like difficult. If you watch my other video though, you probably learn how to use your cameras well, and actually not have to render twice. So basically what I'd be like trying to say here is, let's say if you wanted to just do the first 4 seconds just showing off the end, the logo just being from what, like point A, right, to like point B here, right? And then like the second time you render, you probably like start over really quickly, like erase all the keyframes, and maybe just have what I have on my intro, and basically like do the simple little fly in, which you do it the same exact way, right? You probably have like your let's just like pretend really quickly that I don't have anything keyframed, but your fly in will probably be like your logo is already in front of the camera, right? And then you basically make it zoom out. You know, just basically that's how you do it. Like, so if you keyframed it, the camera behind the logo, and then you can just basically have the camera zoom out, and that'll make it look like your logo is basically flying in, right? So you get what I'm trying to go right with that. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys some more ideas and such. This is obviously not the same exact orientations that I have, or you know, point A to point B to point C as my logo or my intro, but it's something like simple, just something very simple as well. So basically, I have this here. This is about a simple 3-second intro. What I can do as well now is I can just basically put a mode graph, mode text. Click on mode text really quickly. We will go ahead and just let this render all of my freaking, you know, fonts that I have. Come on, let's go. All right, cool. So basically, I want to use. Let's just say we used Kaijin. Oops. We go to K really quickly. Where is it? Right here. All right, cool. Just put this to middle, and we'll just name this Seso or whatever, right? This is already in caps, just like so. All right, cool. And we can just basically have this here, right? And we'll shrink this a little bit. We'll just go to the height. We'll shrink it down. We'll spot here or whatever. We'll shrink it down a little bit more. We can have the vertical spacing and the horizontal spacing different. I can have my horizontal spacing like that, kind of like my intro. And then just have this here. And we'll just go ahead and make sure we platter that right on the side, just like that. So now we know at this moment, right, we want the text to be here. So I'm going to keyframe that right there, just like how everything else is at the end there. But basically before that, though, I want to have this be outside the frame. I'm just going to zoom it out. I'm using the, I think the blue orientation, right? Yeah, the blue one to push it back, forward. And about here, this is where I want the thing to be. So basically, we're going to have here, I keyframe this right there as well, so the text is farther back. It's out of the camera view. Basically, I can have this go from here, point A to point B, and this is where my text will start flying in as well, right? And then, boom, it stops just like that. A very cool little thing. Just very simple little tricks and stuff. You can put your little simple, here we go, little color on this. By the way, when you render this out, make sure you're not putting, let's say if you wanted everything to be in the same color in a group, put every extrude NURBS on its own material, because if you don't, if you put it on a group, the material will look like it's moving, and it'll make the logo or the intro look very, like, you know, disgusting. Please remember that. Just please don't put any materials on a group. I was caused by that. I did that so many times. Do not do that. But basically here, we have our simple little intro here. I'm going to go ahead and render this out now. I'm going to put this in post as well. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but you can see here, this is something how you can do your own intro animation-wise, but please understand that my frames per second is a little bit different than yours, just because, like I said, I don't want to render it and take so long to, you know, get to the second part or whatever. But please understand, 180 frames is a perfect amount for a simple 30 frames per second intro. That'll be about 6 seconds. And then basically, like all the orientations or the keyframes that I had here would just be like, you know, probably like multiplied by like 2 or whatever. So my 6 times 2, that would be like, you know, like this is right now 2 seconds, right? From, you know, 1 second being 30 frames, 2 seconds would be 60 frames. I would have this keyframe in a real intro and a real, you know, you're trying for your own self at about a 120. That would be 4 seconds. So the animation is not crazy quick or whatever. So it's not like, you know, 1 2. That's it. You know, 1 2. You want to be like 1 2 3 4, so it's nice and smooth, right? So that's what I mean by when I say the only difference in this video and you doing your own is the frames per second. I want to stress that just so you guys know. All right, cool. All right, we're done with this. We're gonna render this out really quickly with the intro settings I showed you guys before, and we're gonna go ahead and put this in After Effects and just give you guys a cool little simple thing to do in After Effects or Sony Vegas if you guys have whichever either one. It's just a nice simple intro for you. If you have After Effects, I would really appreciate it if you guys would also get, I believe it's like optical flares and I forgot the other one. Like it's a really cool suit that you can get as well that has these very cool little custom settings and such. But you'll see it. Anyways, we'll be right back. And we're just going to go ahead and render this out. Alright, cool. Alright, guys, so for my 3 seconds, it took about 3 hours. If you can see here, it looks okay. I mean, it came out pretty good. The only thing I forgot to do, and I would please remind you to always check your materials and make sure that you have blurriness on your reflections, because my reflections are on, but they're not on for my black reflections at all. I did put them on the white ones, so like the white, the base canvas looks really nice. It looks all nice and blurred, just like regular lighting effects here. You can see that, how that looks. But I did not do that for the black, so please, I would please check over your materials. I don't know why I was just like halfway through it, like got to this part, and I was like, what the hell is this? I don't remember putting like a texture on the black, and then I was just like, oh no, I see trees and whatever. So yeah, that is something I did make a mistake of, but please understand that just check your materials. And I did change the materials, so when I do give them to you, they will be a blurriness on, but if you're using your own, please check the materials blurriness, that way you don't have this trouble. But you know, 3 seconds, about 3.5 hours, or 3 hours or so. And my computer's not terrible, so it's not like it's just the material, I guess, and just like obviously the render settings and such. So it will take a little bit. I do not like the pink on the materials. I would have put a black, but you know, there's just things I could have did if I was like actually paying attention. I try to do like for tutorial purposes or whatever. But anyway, you guys see that here. I do already have it inside Adobe After Effects. So pretty much, I'm just gonna show you. I literally just put a new composition. I just put 1920 by 1080, and pretty much what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go to New. I'm going to put a solid, that way the background is black, right? That's what we want to have here. And now this is obviously if you have After Effects. I'm not going to do anything special. I'm just going to put a couple things in it, which is going to be like Video Copilot. What is it called? Hold on. What is it called again? Yeah, optical flares, and then of course magic bullet looks. There's 2 things that are like kind of like staples in After Effects when it comes to like CC work and just flare and stuff. So pretty much what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag my little clip in here. You can see what I have here. I'll actually render it out so you can see it perfectly or whatever, right? With the RAM preview. And what this will do is to show you guys what it looks like. And pretty much all I'm going to do is just put a simple little a color correction on it, which just makes my like darker, like contrast, exposure, things like that, to make it just look more appealing. And I do know in the middle of the last frame, it's not in the middle because I just didn't center it right, again because I was rushing. But you know, you see what it does here. It looks pretty cool. It's just very simple and clean. What I will do though is make sure I do move this down. That way it's in the middle. And what I'll do to fix this is I'll just put like black bars. So that's what I'm gonna do just for now, just to make the mistake look like a little happy mistake. We can just put simple little black bars like you see on the top, like a cinematic view or whatever. But pretty much what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go to like a good frame where I can see things. I'll just go to here. On a new adjustment layer, right click new adjustment layer, and I know I probably have never had like another program on my channel for a while, so if you're new to After Effects, you know, whatever, if you're using Sony Vegas, I think Sony Vegas does have magic bullet looks, and that's just the main thing you really want right now. Other than that, like optical flares and stuff, you can probably find some kind of like filter or something on like, you know, free overlay filters or whatever if you wish to, but I don't know, like some really cool like intro packs are out there have these kind of things in it. But I'm gonna go ahead and tools, I'm gonna go to just post really quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and just click, and I'll just drag into my S curve really quick. This will allow me to give what I want, like that dark theme. We will go ahead and say about here. See it on and off, right? It just looks good already so far. Pretty much now I'll just put a simple diffuse in. And we'll just go ahead. We'll change actually this color diffuse to like this pink that we have here. Just to make it look cooler. Otherwise, don't change it. I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll work. Just a little bit nice pink there. Nice little pink aura glow. Now what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put a contrast in. Why not? Make it a little more darker. Where is my exposure? And we will go ahead and put this on here. Make the little things a little more brighter. I do like how that looks so far. Other things you can experiment with, I'm just going to do with these main things right now. I can put a vintage thing around it as well. Why not, right? And I'll just press finish. And that way, we'll give it this nice little CC here, this little color correction. Now, it's very dark. I will give it that, but it doesn't look terrible. I would probably fix it, but just for now, I don't know. Maybe I'll fix it, but I'll just see what it looks like first with the optical flares on it. So I'm going to do new adjustment layer. This will put my optical flare in it, kind of like my color. Just something like, just open this up really quickly. Go to options. And we'll just delete all this stuff first. And we will go ahead and click on this. And then lens orbs. I just want that, right? And then for the pink, I think it's like somewhere around this color or whatever. Press OK. Press OK again. And then to see it over the render here, or the video here, we just put it over original. And then pretty much we can just put this up here. And then I'll have a little bit of color there. There we go, right? And what I'm going to do now as well is I'm going to go ahead and just do, what is that? I think it's new. We'll just put a shape layer, right? And we'll go ahead to these shapes right here. We're going to go to the rectangle. And we're going to make a nice little box up here for the cinematic view. And I'll take this. I'm just going to press A on my keyboard. Is it the same thing or is it V? It's V. If I press Alt, it'll make a duplicate. Oops. Alt and Shift. That way it's straight. Come down. There we go. Now we have some cinematic bars, right? It looks cool, right? Now let's render this out really quick with a preview. And see what it looks like. Like I said, this is only a 3-second thing, but of course it feels like the 6 seconds or the whatever amount of time. But I think 6 seconds is a really good time for an intro. Very quick, very nice, and very smooth. You can get these smooth transitions and stuff. So with that 6 seconds, I don't know, that looks pretty nice here. I do really wish I fixed the blurriness of that. But other than that, I mean, it did come out pretty cool. Of course, what I also forgot to do is at the end of like the 6 seconds, I would say stop the whole motion stuff at like 5 seconds. That way you have a good second for the logo to maybe like zoom out a little bit. Like I have this here, but what I would do is at right this time, I would have another like a good second of the camera flowing back a little bit. That way you get this cool little like a nice finish, and it's not so like obviously shortcut, boom, done. For my settings though, I do have it only as like what 3 seconds 20 seconds or 3 seconds 20 milliseconds. So I'm gonna change this to 320. Okay, there we go. Now it's only at 320. There we go. So pretty much now I can just go ahead and go to I think it's composition or where is it? Composition, add to render queue. I can just change my settings and such. If I do have audio, which I would say obviously you would probably have audio, maybe any like cool little simple like one of your favorite non-copyrighted songs or whatever. Other than that, you can try to find some like ambient like noise. It's the hardest part is finding like a really good sound to go with your intro. But you would click on audio outtake if you output if you had intro music. Otherwise, keep it off. Other than that, you can just change your output to wherever you're saving it to, and then pretty much you would have your own intro. You render it out. And it looks pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoy. I know I never ever show After Effects stuff or any other program besides Cinema4D and Photoshop, but this is just to show you guys like in post. I just put a simple CC on it and some simple little lens flare to put color in it. I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing somewhere in like Sony Vegas or whatever, or if you guys wish to just get Adobe After Effects if you guys got the Adobe suite or something like that. So I hope you guys do enjoy. I really do, and I hope you guys enjoy the outcome of this intro. I know it's like nothing crazy like out of the blue or whatever, but in the description below I do have a video where it shows you how to do like things where you break the things apart, logo apart. You can like figure out how to actually take like bends and actually like flow them through the logo so it bends kind of like really coolly. I said coolly, by the way, really cool. And then pretty much you get these really cool things. Like if you didn't know already, I'll just show you really quickly what these things are. These little little dots around like everything in here has these little dots. See all these little dots? These are keyframes. So if I press Control and I click on it, that's a keyframe. So it will make a keyframe. Let's say if I, for some reason, number 1 went from like the steps from 1, right? And I went up here and I just changed the steps to about like 3 or something. You can do this. It will change it. You can see this here. Look at the first layer, right? You see it. It will get thicker and thicker and thicker. Actually, let me get out the camera view. Let's zoom in just so you can see it. I hope you will. Does it get thicker, or is it, did I put the wrong one? No, but it should. But if I go through, you can see it. You can see it here. It actually gets thicker. It does. And just so I can make sure I can really see it, just so I can show you guys I'm not lying, it is keyframes. It will go from here, and it'll get thicker there. You can see it there. It does get thicker. So yeah, those are keyframes, and that has everything to do with, like, you know, bend and stuff. These bends have keyframes. You can change the strength through the thing. You can move it. Just so you know, just so you like understand, I have a full video on all that cool stuff in the description down below. I just don't want to fit it in this one, but I hope you guys do enjoy the outcome. And if you guys want to see more motion designs, please tell me, let me know. Leave a like, guys. I just like hit my mic. I'm so sorry. I really do hope you guys enjoy. So switch you out. Peace.